Hey everybody, it's Harry from SoCal, the YouTube channel that teaches you how to master barbecue so you can spread barbecue love. I'm super excited today to shoot a steak aging shootout episode. I have CJ from Cooking with CJ coming over to my house in a few minutes, and CJ runs a YouTube channel called Cooking with CJ. We're doing a live YouTube broadcast and we're going to have folks on Google Hangout asking me questions to stump the Pitmaster. I'm also going to teach CJ how to cook these steaks. So we're going to do a collab today to let you guys know what is the best steak aging method. Can you go ahead and do a butter aged steak like I did before, a Cryovac wet aged steak for 40 days, or Umai back aged for 40 days, or should you go with a $100 professionally dry aged ribeye steak? This is from Snake River Farms that they flew this to New York to be aged professionally by Prime Food Distribution. So this would be sort of a reference standard of a professionally store-bought or online store-bought aged steak compared against these three samples of the butter, cryo, and umai, which were done at home. So today's shootout is going to be these four steaks. I'm going to let CJ cook them, and then we're going to taste them together, and we're going to give you guys the results to share with you what you should do at home. Should you go and splurge $100, or can you go ahead and age your steak with great results using the umai bag, the butter, or the Cryovac approach? So stay tuned for this episode. All right, we got a lot of gear in my backyard, and CJ and Matt are getting ready to do a shoot here. We're going to go live in about 6 minutes. Is it? Or 1 minute, 2 minutes?
1 minute?
1 minute. Okay, 1 minute live. We got a MacBook Air going, and he's got all the gear set up. We've got a webcam here.
Save.
I'm supposed to be over here somewhere.
Save.
Yeah.
Right, pretend to say something intelligible here. We got the pits going.
Yes? Yeah.
We're going to do a grill grate. We're going to cook it on the pellet tonight. We're going to get some smoke onto these steaks here. And just as a recap, I'm going to teach CJ how to cook a dry aged ribeye from New York, a butter aged cryo, and umai back. So it's going to be like a couple $100 worth of steaks they're going to make him eat. And I
have to?
And you have to eat it all.
Oh no.
Together with Matt. Matt needs some love too, right, Matt? Alright, so we have a couple $100, well maybe $300 worth of steaks here for Mr. CJ and for Matt to taste.
Can't wait.
And it's my obsession with aging of beef. So we have some steaks here that have been aged different ways. So we're gonna have him season this because we need to get it onto the pit to get some smoke in it. The goal is to get it to about 110 degrees internal temperature. That takes about 30-40 minutes. So while we're yabbing away with you answering the question and stump the Pitmaster, we're gonna have the steaks cooked.
Right.
And then once it's done to about 110 degrees, we're gonna have CJ here. We'll teach him Harry's X-split method to sear the steaks perfectly with some rosemary butter. So it's going to be a fun day today, and we're going to all enjoy the steaks. Okay, go ahead.
This
He's
is
a pro,
insane.
doing a good job.
This is insane.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
This one?
This is the $100 one. So
we got to do this one right here.
So here we go. So here's the four steaks here. 4 sets of steaks. I'm going to put it into the pellet cooker now, so that when it's cooking, we can sit down and talk. And yeah.
All right, cool. Let's just start with a couple questions, couple easy softball. Obviously, we're in LA right now. It's a beautiful day. Where are you from, though?
Originally, I am from Malaysia, which is a country in Southeast Asia, and I used to fly for Singapore Airlines, and I used to be an airline pilot. I learned about the oil crisis back in the late 70s. For those of you who are as old as I am, I'm dating myself by saying that there was a time when you had to stand in line to buy gas. So if you don't remember or you don't know what I'm talking about, then you must not be in my age range. So I am a dinosaur according to my kids.
He wants to see the pool. T-Roy wants to see your pool.
Oh, pool. Okay, give him a pan shot of pool. T-Roy, I'm inviting you now online to come to my backyard and do a YouTube collab. I'll gather all the YouTubers on the West Coast. We'll pull in Greg Mervich from Ballistic Barbecue and a whole bunch of other people. Come on by and we'll cook up a storm. I have a lot of different pits here for you to try. And we'll try to show you guys some California hospitality. I will definitely cook you some tofu and artichokes. How's that?
Oh, what made you go from airline pilot to what are you doing now, and then YouTube creator?
Well, the journey is an accidental one. I arrived in America in the early 80s. I wanted to study, instead of being a pilot, I had to retrain for New Korea. I chose computer engineering. So I went to school, Texas Tech in Lubbock, Texas, and enrolled in the program as an undergraduate. First week in school, my classmate takes me out for brisket. I took one bite of that brisket, Texas-style brisket, and one bite of the Texas-style short rib, and I fell in love with American-style low and slow barbecue. I thought to myself, how can meat taste so good?
Right.
And I spent the next 20 years of my life trying to break the code of American barbecue because I have no pedigree. See, like my grandpa didn't teach my pa, and my pa taught him to cook barbecue.
Right.
I attacked barbecue by way of brute force.
Yeah.
So you know that when you are in the gym and you have a gym locker, you want to break somebody's gym locker, all you need to do is go through the combination 000, 001, 002. Eventually what happens? You get a combination. So I figured that I can figure it out by brute force attack, and I would cook a piece of meat with salt and pepper. After that, salt and pepper, chili powder. Salt, pepper, chili powder, sugar. Salt, pepper, chili powder, sugar, garlic powder. So I built all these flavor profiles so I understand how seasonings fuse the protein.
Right.
And that's how I achieve slowly the pinnacle of perfection in barbecue.
With all that you've learned and all that experimentation, what would you call, there's Texas style barbecue, Memphis barbecue. What would you call your style?
I call my style winning competition barbecue because CJ hasn't seen the garage yet, so he's piled to the ceiling with trophies and $10,000 checks.
Right.
So my idea is I do not cook for myself when I compete. I cook to win contests. I'll give you a very good example. In the traditional contest, you would cook ribs a certain way to match a particular kind of Midwestern flavor profile, right? Now, when I cook ribs for myself, right, I grill single bones and I eat with pico de gallo and lime. With just salt and pepper. So that kind of style of rib will never work, but I cook to win, and that's my style.
What music do you like? This is Mega Fred Dragon's question.
Okay,
music you like.
I will commit blasphemy by telling you I'm a smooth jazz kind of guy. So, hey, I find it relaxing.
The Coast 93.9.
when I'm at work, right, it's pandemonium because I'm the guy who gets a rolled up newspaper when something goes wrong. Because my responsibility is I run projects for a major water company in Los Angeles. So my responsibility is 300 cities, 20 million people. So when things go wrong, they go wrong really fast and really bad. I oversee a team of project managers. So my job is to make sure that the water continues to flow in Los Angeles. So it's a high stress. So I use barbecue as a therapy, as a means of kind of getting away from my day job.
Right on.
Okay, so this part here is okay sign. This is going to be rare. If you move one finger over, this is medium rare, this is medium, and this is well done. Okay, that's how you tell when you poke it with the thumb. So I'm going to touch you with the tongue, and this is rare. The other way to do it also is clench your fist like so. If you push this part here, it's loose, this is rare. You clench it lightly, it's medium rare. A little bit tighter is medium, and fully tight is well done. That's how you do it. Or you can use a thermal pan like so. And I like to cook my steaks to about 128 degrees. So you can use a thermal pan. So it doesn't really matter what you want to use, so long as you're having fun.
And that's your own thermal pan.
This is my own thermal pan. So what happens when I taught in London, the founder of Thermapen is British based.
Oh, really?
So he made like 80 of these Thermapens for the students, and he gave me a couple of Thermapens. I'm one of the few teams in the world with the original logo embossed on the Thermapen. So you can see this is quite old because it's kind of faded over time. Right. But I'm so happy that he acknowledged my team. He put it in my color because this is my winning color. It's orange. All right, we're gonna pick up the steak, right, and put it back in the 2-part position like so. Okay, save all of them. So everybody watch food porn right here. Instagram. Okay. All right, we're gonna do 60 seconds or so. Okay, we're gonna brush it with some butter.
This is awesome.
Okay, so we're feeding it for tenderness. It's about right. Let me do it the scientific way here. Okay, careful, don't burn yourself. All right, here we go. All right, and then the last round, go ahead, drizzle some more butter. Careful, you don't burn. Okay, so do not burn yourself. I do not want to have a liability with CJ here. That's looking good, man. I can drive home. All right, so okay, go ahead and flip it back in the 10 o'clock position now. You should see a beautiful diamond grill marks here.
Look at that.
Okay, all right, pretty good. Okay, go ahead, flip it.
Yeah, just don't burn yourself. I don't know if you've been told that yet.
All right, I'm just touching it with some butter here. More butter is good. When you cook steaks, it's very important not to let the steak dry out. And when the steak comes off the grill, really want to brush it with butter. It's going to take the steaks at least 20 minutes to kind of cool down. So we definitely can talk a little bit more here.
Good.
Yeah, if they run out of questions, it's okay,
Read Tom's Food Factory's comment there, would you please?
Tom, okay. Your bonus this year should be a plane ticket to Harry's barbecue class. Yeah, okay. This is awesome. I can't believe it. the smells are insane.
All right, we cooked the steaks, and CJ did all the X-flip cooking. We smoked it to 110 degrees, and we finished it on the grill grates. So we have some nice diamond grill marks on it. So I'm going to slice the steak now and let CJ and Matt to be my taste testers. So they're going to tell me among the 4 different steaks whether it's dry aged, Umai bag, butter, or Cryovac, which one is better. So we're going to slice the steaks for them now.
All right.
So I'm gonna let my guests here enjoy. So please step over here and eat your heart out.
Let me give my shots of me eating. I'm going to jump on this one first. This is the Snake River Farms dry aged.
Yeah. That would be the reference standard. So eat the one from the spinalis. The spinalis is the ribeye cap, and then eat one from the ribeye. So you're gonna eat one piece and close your eyes and chew.
Oh man.
Okay, so that is the
standard.
Yeah, that's the standard right here. So
I've never had something like that before.
dry aged 40 days.
How do you dry it? Like,
They dry it in a special room that has mold.
then
It shrinks because they concentrate the flavor. And then the enzymes within the steak break the steak down. That's why it's so tender. It's so much flavor.
They cut the outers off, right?
They cut the rotten part off.
All right, so this is the butter aged. Of totally different flavors. Excellent meat, but totally different flavors. That's awesome.
So basically what I've done is I've taken 3 steaks that are aged by me,
Right.
home style, versus a professionally aged steak.
Cryo.
Beautiful.
Look at the little fat in there.
Wow.
Excellent.
Actually,
It's just a different flavor. How are they this?
they are all from the same ribeye. I bought like an 18-pound, and I cut it in 3 pieces, and then I aged 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, 3 different ways for 40 days.
So it's all ribeye?
Prime ribeye.
Prime ribeye?
You cannot age meat that's not prime because you need the fat content. So the way we eat is we eat first round, and then we form some impression, but we don't reach conclusions. Then we go back eat the second round, and then we eat the third round. That way, you in your mind you know kind of like why you like which one and what's the reason why.
And you get so much different flavors from each steak too.
Remember that your mouth has 8,000 taste buds.
Right.
So you want to make sure that you let the 8,000 taste buds fire. So eat, chew, don't swallow. Just wait a second. The taste buds are all over the roof of your mouth, the back of your throat. So chew and rotate the flavor in your mouth. Don't just chew and bite and swallow.
Right.
Chew and then let the flavor.
Is this wrong to do this?
Yeah. No. You do anything you want.
All right,
You got a bit of butter.
Yeah. I love butter on my steaks.
Yep.
Like I think it's just insane. Beyond speechless that you let me come over and do this, be a part of this. I know we got plenty of time to eat and we're still talking here, but it's like I'm so excited right now. It's just you don't even know. All right. I'm starting to sweat from the meat sweat. We've done a few rounds of this thing. These steaks are amazing. I'm so excited right now. You don't even know. Harry is like a sled driving maniac. You must eat these steaks. So the dry age was the first one we tried here.
Okay.
We had the butter aged right here. We had the Cryovac right here. And the umami bag aged right here. So all 3 of these were off the same ribeye. This came from Snake River Farms. This was a painstaking, but I'm doing this for you and you. This is we got a little YouTube inception here.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you straight up. I thought the butter would be the one that I love the most because I'm a big fan of butter, But it's my champagne taste on a beer budget. This one from Snake River Farms takes it for me, especially when we added the butter. Number 2 would probably be the Cryovac, and then umami, and then the butter age. So that kind of threw me off a little bit, but I think that's where I'm at right now. I found myself going back for this one, the dry age quite a bit, especially that spinali cap.
Yes, the ribeye cap.
The ribeye cap, and then again the Cryovac. Just fabulous.
I would honestly have to go with the butter for my number 1.
Okay.
Just because it just had a better taste,
The dry age would be my number 2.
Number 2, good.
The number 2, it melts in your mouth. It's great, like I said. But that butter was always getting me. The Cryovac would be my number 3. Like, still very good. And like my number 4 was the
Umami.
Umai.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So for me, the number 1, I agree with that. Butter.
The
There's
butter.
something special with the butter one, right? And then of course the $100 one from the dry age area from Snake River Farm was number 2. And then I thought that the cryo was good, and then the Umai I laid at number 4. So that's kind of like my take. I have to say all 4 steaks are like phenomenal eating.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we're kind of like really splitting hairs here.
Definitely.
If you did not eat it side by side, you could not tell that they are different. Am I correct?
Agreed.
Because if you eat it individually, every single one would be something really special you would serve for a special occasion.
I agree.
But when you sit side by side and you eat repeatedly, we ate probably like 3 rounds, 2-3 rounds. So there was a subtle difference between the two. The Snake River, in my opinion, had that kind of dry age flavor that the rest did not have. So
Right.
kudos to Snake River Farm sending this special piece of prime ribeye to New York to be aged by prime food distributors. So they go through a very special process, and actually a lot of the top restaurants in America use this steak. So this is what you would pay for when you go to like a high-end steakhouse and order a steak for $65, and then the mashed potatoes another $10.
Right,
The
yeah.
asparagus is another $10, right?
Yeah.
So you end up spending like $100 for steak. You can order this online, it's about $100. So definitely well worth the effort. So to answer the main question is, what should you do at home? That's the key, right? So Matt, what would you do if this was your steak and your money? Which of the 4 methods would you use?
The butter.
The butter. So you would go buy a tub of butter, spend $5 on butter, and go ahead and age in butter for 40 days.
Yes.
What about you?
Harry, I would probably spend the $100.
You don't even have to wait for 40 days because they ship this overnight in
Right.
a insulated cooler. So if you order it, the only way they'll ship you is overnight shipping.
Oh, okay.
The shipping is $50.
$50.
Just
So
the shipping alone.
$100 for the steak,
And $50.
$50 for the shipping.
But you get the result that you want.
Oh yeah,
Right?
that was fabulous.
Okay. Now the butter, of course, is agonizing to put it in the fridge
Right.
and let it age for 40 days. So here's how an aged steak looks like, and you coat it in butter, and it's gonna sit for 40 days. So this is a porterhouse. This is a special porterhouse. We call it the bistecca style, Italian Chianini style, which is basically a 4-finger porterhouse. So you can only buy this from a specialty butcher. I'm gonna issue a series of videos on porterhouse steaks.
What do you keep the temperature at in the fridge?
The fridge temperature has to be around 34, 32 degrees.
Okay.
So it's fairly cold for about 40 days.
Almost freezing, yeah.
And this is the result. This is how this thing looked like. It doesn't cost any money to cryovac because you use a food saver bag.
Right.
The Umai bag tag costs about $10 each, and then the butter, whatever you pay for butter, and this one is really expensive because the shipping is $50.
Right.
So again, knock yourself out. CJ liked the expensive one. We like the homemade steak. So, all right, guys, that concludes another episode from Slap Your Daddy. Today, my special guest CJ. We had a ball of a time. We met behind the cameras, eating our way through 4 different kinds of steak. So now you know the answer to the question between the dry aged steak from Snake River Farm through New York, the butter aged, the Cryovac, and the Umai bag. Which one we prefer? There's no right or wrong. It's whatever you want and you enjoy. As long as you're spreading barbecue love, that's all that matters. I want to do a shout out to my Patreon subscribers, including John Smith, and all those guys who are supporting me on this channel. Yep. And I also want to thank the folks who did earlier on the live shoot. They donated to all the charities we talked about. So please like, subscribe, and share. Until the next video, we will see you.
Thanks a lot.
Hey Beans, how are you? Hey, ready to do a taste test? Huh? Come here. Okay, you want some steak? You like some steak, Beans? Stay. Okay, here we go. Is it good? Approve? Okay, you're smiling, so seal of approval. You're snorting also, little dog.